Hello and welcome to Dad Got This, where we give you the facts. Like, you can actually buy a chuck roast, make a steak out of it, and save a ton of money, and Chuck Norris is the reason that Waldo's hiding. In my videos, I have been accused of being bougie and buying only expensive meats, and my steaks are too expensive, and I should use a cheaper cut of steak. Okay, well, challenge accepted. I'm gonna use a very cheap cut of beef, the chuck roast, and I'm gonna turn it into a delicious steak using my Ninja Woodfire grill. Let's get to it. These are some chuck roasts that came from my local big box store. They sell them for $5.98 a pound. For reference, they sell ribeye for $13.48 a pound, and New York strips are $11.98 a pound. So this is considerably cheaper. We are going to cut these into some steaks, and then we're going to smoke them really low. We are gonna do a reverse sear method, smoke them super low to try to keep them tender, and then get a quick sear on the wood fire. Now this is what I ended up with in the cryo pack from my big box store. If you look at it, we can actually pretty simply look at these and say, oh, that's a steak, and break it down.
All I'm doing here is following the seams of the meat and cutting off large chunks. After I break it down into the large chunks, I'm just cutting off any kind of silver skin or ugly fat and cleaning everything up.
This is what we broke our chuck roast down into. One really nice looking steak, another pretty good steak, another smaller steak-like shape. This is getting out of steak territory. This is getting into what I would consider kebab territory. Also, I think you can make a good steak out of that. Somebody could have a nice small steak. It's actually pretty well marbled. And then also one pretty small, I think more suited for kebabs or stir fry. Now, this is what you want to really make sure you are getting rid of. This is silver skin. This is never going to cook down, never be tender, never be delicious. If you see it, get rid of it. Not bad for the price. That's a pretty gigantic steak. The difference between buying this and like New York strip or ribeye is you're getting all steak. This, we get some, what I'm gonna call bonus meat that you're gonna then wanna do something else with. I'll do stir fries with these, I'll do kebabs with these, I will Chinese velvet them, I will make them tender and delicious, but not quite a steak. For today's cook, I think we're gonna focus on this big boy right here, and the rest of these guys are gonna get put away for later use. For this cook, I'm gonna use some hickory pellets from Kona. They sell a bunch of variety packs. I'll throw a link down in the description. It's a great way to get a bunch of flavors of pellets so you aren't stuck with one flavor. I'm gonna use hickory for today's burn. Burn, cook. I had some old pellets in there. Always get rid of old pellets. Fill your hopper with the pellets. Give it the dad shake. The dad shake either compacts the pellets and helps them burn better, separates the pellets and gives them lots of air and helps them burn better, or does absolutely nothing. I do it every time. For this one, we are gonna go on the smoker setting at 200 degrees. We're gonna keep this super low. As you can see, I have my flat top in there, and I have this in there for a reason because later we are going to sear the steak on here. So I want a nice flat surface for searing, but a flat surface doesn't really allow for great airflow when smoking. Now, because my briskets don't get great airflow, I bought an accessory that I'm gonna be trying out. It's this little rack. And I think if I put it on there, it'll allow airflow all the way around it, and I might not even have to flip it. We'll see. So it goes right there. I turn this on, go to smoker, 200. We'll leave the time at 2 hours, we don't care. We're gonna set this up in the app. Hit start, you're gonna see IGN. That's gonna ignite your pellets and get everything going. While that's going on, let's season our steak. I'm just gonna go with a little bit of coarse salt. This is what I call go. It's 50% granulated onion and 50% granulated garlic, and then a little bit of coarse black pepper. Press it in, flip it over. Get the sides, we'll pick up this stuff on the board here. You enjoying this video? Well, there's a few simple things you can do to help me out. 1, you could subscribe if you're not already. 2, you could give the video a like and hit that bell. All right? And that guy's ready to go. And we're gonna go stick this in the fridge because we want this meat cold. Cold meat takes smoke better. You're gonna get more smoke flavor in your meat if you start it cold. Speaking about cooking, did you know that Chuck Norris can cook minute rice in 30 seconds? Our wood fire is ready, so let's take our steak, cold from the fridge. We're gonna take this. I had a meat tenderizer, it broke, so we're gonna use a fork and we are just going to mechanically tenderize this a little bit. This is a tough cut of meat. It needs all the help it can get. There we go. The last thing we're gonna do is get our meat thermometer in there. Try to get it nice here in the middle. Make sure it's not poking out anywhere. Looks good. Let's go put it on the grill. At this point, it is time to fire up our Ninja Woodfire app, the Ninja Pro Connect app, and we are gonna change this to a thermometer cook. We're gonna go beef rare, which is 120 degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius. And we are currently 57 degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius. And like I said, I have the cooking chamber at 200 degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius. I forgot to do the conversions. I'm sorry. So when this comes up to 120, we'll pull it off and then we'll get it ready to sear. Our target temp is 134 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a perfect medium rare or Celsius. Just got a notification that our steak has hit 120. I also got a notification that Chuck Norris doesn't breathe. He holds air hostage. It worked, kinda. I have smokiness on both sides. Oh, I'm excited to try that on a brisket. That guy's just gonna sit there while we set this guy up for searing. For the sear, we are gonna set it to grill high. I'm not even gonna bother with the wood fire button because it's gonna yell at me if I turn the wood fire button on in grill setting if I wanna grill with the lid open. And I need to grill with the lid open for this. So we're just gonna wait till that comes to temp. So what's gonna happen to this steak is carryover cooking is gonna kind of get it to keep going up a little bit. We're gonna probably go past our 120, maybe to 125, 127, something in that range. Then it's gonna start cooling. I don't know if we're gonna hit that point by the time this thing gets up to temp, and then we're gonna sear. The grill high is preheated. We even have some smoke, I guess leftover smoked pellets from the last smoke. Let's see what the steak's temperature is right now. Let's drop down to 113, and then let's see what our grill grate is. There you can see that, 506. So it can get to 500. I don't know how for long. But I'm gonna do something I've never done while searing a steak. I'm gonna use beef tallow. Let's get to this. It says we are at 111 degrees. I guess I can't do thermometer with the lid. That's annoying. All right, well, we're just gonna keep doing this. We're getting close. We didn't even really need the thermometer. It's dropped down to about 400, but I think we are going to be, fine with that. See, that beef tallow was a great idea. Let's temp this guy, see what it's at. About 130 in the middle. That is gonna be great after a rest. We've done a really short rest, just a couple minutes. Let's slice into this guy. That's a solid looking steak. See how it tastes. It's delicious. Is it as tender as a ribeye? No. Is it as tender as a New York? No. Is it a good steak? Yes. I think you just need to make sure that you slice it nice and thin. Yeah, nice thin slices. It's super beefy. That is one thing about this cut of meat. It is as beefy gets. If you enjoy beef flavor, you're gonna definitely like this. So the fact is you can actually buy a chuck roast, make a really great steak out of it, and make it enjoyable. Another fact is that the Great Wall of China was originally built to keep Chuck Norris out. It didn't work. Yeah, I tell horrible dad jokes on this channel. If you enjoy that, consider subscribing. Maybe consider becoming a member. Members get shout outs, members get producer credits at the end of the videos, members get to see videos early. Whole bunch of stuff, and members help me grow this channel and continue to bring you guys free videos to watch. That rack worked perfectly. I will throw a link for that down in the description. If you want to pick up a wood fire and you don't have one, I'll throw a link for that in the description. Be all kinds of links in the description that are affiliate links, also help out this channel. Please do the likey, subscribe stuff. leave a comment. I answer just about every comment in my comment section. And that only leaves me one more fact to leave you guys with for today. They say the quickest way to a man's heart is with Chuck Norris's fist. Dad may absolutely love Chuck Norris jokes. Make great steaks. But one thing Dad will never do is an outro. So that's it. Bye.
This episode of Dad Got This was brought to you by our producers. Thank you very much.